So this was my 30th day out here in North Carolina. It was a Sunday. I decided to just go hang out with George and Tony for the day. They had wanted to kind of scope stuff out. George was thinking about coming back and wanted to just see where the hard hit areas were that he could be most effective with his equipment and machinery and stuff he's bringing, and just wanted to kind of make sure he was on the right path. And so I decided that I might be coming back as well. So I wanted to just kind of compare where I had been for the last month to everything else. And we started by going to Bardsville over the mountain, and went over there, and it was hit bad. It had a lot of damage. It's everywhere that seems to have been hit. And I haven't really been taking pics of the destruction. I try to show more of the beauty in it. So there's plenty of destruction pics out there. I just try and focus on the positive and the beauty of the area. We drove through there, and it was pretty rough, but we went over to through Asheville after that, and to Swenoa. And I had been to Swenoa before, but they had kind of wanted to see it a little bit. We ended up going to Billy Graham's place real quick and kind of going through that. I hadn't been there, and it was a bit much for me. I'm a more modest, minimalistic type, and it just seemed a little extravagant to me. But we went from there down to the Swenoa main city part, and we swung by the Silverado. The Silverado, it's a place, it looks like they had some amazing concerts there where they could have had some really, really cool crowds and some really cool bands. And they just basically turned that place over into a donation site and just completely ran volunteers and donations out of there. Everything had been just turned over to the cause of helping people, and it's a really awesome thing to watch. I had went there and donated a lot of the items, everything that was clothes, when I first got to town. People loaded me up with stuff when I left, and that's where I ended up taking everything. And I knew they were a good spot and a good place that were trying to help people, so I figured I'd take George and Tony there to try and talk to them and see about setting up coming back or whatever, and just let him get a feel for what was going on. So we went there, and George talked to some people there about coming back and what was needed, and got some phone numbers and connections and all that good stuff. So while I was there was this really cool cross that somebody had made, and I'm not a religious person. I don't really go to church or anything like that, but it really caught my eye, and I thought it was really cool. So I took some pictures of it, and figured I'd share them here. I know there's people that will really appreciate it, and I really appreciated it. Even though I'm not religious, I appreciated the heart and the soul and the work and the effort put into it, and the craftsmanship and the beauty. It was just a beautiful piece. So we left Swenoa and came back to Pensacola, and George had a skid steer up on a mountain, and he was wanting to get it to the bottom of the mountain. He didn't want to haul the truck and trailer and all the stuff up there. It was kind of hard to get to. So he was just wanting to drive the skid steer to the bottom of the mountain, and I donated and said I'd be happy to do that. So I jumped in the skid steer and drove it down the mountain for him. So I did actually get to do a little bit of something. It wasn't much, but after that, we went back to camp, and we're eating dinner. And right as we were eating dinner, Jody, the gentleman that had been serving the food, a lot of the meals that we had done to, man, him and his wife Liz, they'd just taken such good care of us there at camp, and they put their whole heart and soul out there, and just showed up every day to try and help and feed everybody. And they worked so hard every day, and they would even take the leftovers and go help serve them to firefighters and medical professionals and just anybody out in the community. And I can't tell them how much I appreciate all their hard work and all their effort. But he is also basically the camp pastor, and on Sundays they had church every Sunday, and he was the pastor that led church. And so we were sitting there in the chow hall, basically, the chow tent, and he came in and just basically set up for church. I think there were 5 or 6 of us hanging out in there at the time. And I decided I might as well just go ahead and stay there. So I sat through his sermon and sat there in church in the tent. And that was the first church I'd been to in about 15 years. I haven't been to church in a long time, and I don't mind listening to other people's perspectives and hearing all views, and I don't mind at all. So it was a good thing, and it was nice. I enjoyed him taking the effort and the time and the compassion to reach out and just do what he was doing. It's very commendable, and like I said, I enjoyed it. But that was the conclusion to my day. So I appreciate everybody for following along and keeping up. Please like and subscribe and follow along with my journeys. Thank you.